COPWATCH, policing the police every single day.
The 20th Circuit state attorneys don't want new blood in their agency because they will find out how corrupt it is. State attorney race heats up with complaints, counter-complaints. By Michael Braun. News Press. He said, she said. That's been the tenor of the Republican campaign for state attorney of the 20th Judicial Circuit. The latest salvo came this week when Stephen Russell, the current state attorney, requested that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement conduct an investigation into a complaint alleging a felony violation by attorney Chris Crowley, who is running for state attorney against Chief Assistant State Attorney AMIRA Fox. The campaign, which has 2 months to go for the August 28 primary, has seen several complaints of ethics violations filed against Fox with the Florida Ethics Commission, none of which have been ruled on. The complaints claim Fox or her campaign for state attorney have blocked or deleted negative comments made on social media, and heckling at some campaign forum events that featured both candidates. Wednesday's announcement by Russell, who is Fox's boss and is retiring, included a request to Governor Rick Scott to appoint another state attorney to handle the Crowley matter. Russell said a 2-page complaint recently came to the office alleging felony violations by Crowley stemming from a June 14 fundraising reception at the Hut restaurant in Buckingham and referencing audio-visual recordings. The recordings will speak for themselves, as well as other written materials released in the report, Russell's June 25 letter to the FDLE's Fort Myers office said. A spokesperson for the FDLE confirmed receipt of Russell's request and said it was under review but that no active investigation had been started. Crowley dismissed the allegations. "It's like a drive-by hit," he said. "This is the dirtiest cheap shot." Crowley said he thinks the allegations stemmed from a raffle that organizers of his fundraiser held at the door of the Buckingham restaurant asking for $1 per person. "I got $670 from a raffle," he said. "I emailed the state ethics board and asked if I could keep it and they said no. I gave it back to the organizers." Crowley said he told them to give it to charity because the campaign couldn't accept it. "I never deposited the money," he said. "And they weren't part of my campaign." Crowley also said claims of an audio recording that he offered jobs for donations were false. "I haven't promised anybody a job," Crowley said. "I've told people I know in the private sector I'd bring them back in the state attorney's office, but there's been no promises of jobs for money." Crowley said he went to the Fort Myers FDLE offices on Wednesday and spoke with an agent, showing him an email from the Ethics Commission. "The primary likely will decide who will win the job because only a write-in qualified to run in the general election. Since he started running for the office in 2017, Crowley and his supporters complained that Fox campaigned for months for the post before she officially announced her candidacy and campaigned for office during work hours after her announcement. Crowley, who left the state attorney's office in 2014, has also been adamant that Fox should have to resign to run. Daniel N. Dreisel, a Fort Myers attorney and vice president of the Lee County Bar Association, filed an ethics complaint with the state against Fox in November 2017, claiming she violated state statutes by campaigning for the state attorney's position while working as second in command in the 20th Circuit. A Tallahassee spokesperson for the Florida Commission of Ethics, Carrie J. Stillman, said she could neither confirm nor deny the complaint. Those complaints led Russell to issue a statement that state attorney office policy for employees seeking elective office includes a clause that gives the state attorney discretion to determine whether an employee would be required to resign in order to run for elective office. Crowley also has championed animal rights activists who claimed that the state attorney's office wasn't prosecuting local slaughterhouse violations. However, according to the state attorney's office, a Miami Beach-based animal rights group gathered evidence illegally so it couldn't be used in a prosecution. Crowley. Fox. Russell. Correct. It violates ethics rules and election rules. They are corrupt to the core. Our view. Russell gives his candidate political boost. Our position, Stephen Russell, State Attorney of the 20th Judicial Circuit, should not be initiating a criminal investigation into the opponent of his handpicked successor. Chicken poop. That's the best, and most polite, way we can describe State Attorney Stephen Russell's decision to call for an investigation of Chris CROWLEY, a candidate for his job. Russell released a statement last week saying he felt compelled to request the Florida Department of Law Enforcement conduct an independent criminal investigation to allegations regarding CROWLEY's campaign. Russell went on to say he would ask Governor Rick Scott to assign another state attorney to handle any prosecutorial responsibilities regarding the matter due to his retirement and support for AMIRA Fox, who is also vying for the position. Fox is Russell's chief assistant. He has thrown his complete support behind her candidacy and has for months, even before she officially announced. The allegations about CROWLEY made by an anonymous source stem from a fundraiser where members of an animal welfare group held a raffle, which is prohibited under State Statute 849.09, 1, A, C, and D. The law prohibits anyone from setting up, promoting or conducting a lottery. A total of $670 was raised and presented to CROWLEY, who was unsure if he could accept the money. So, he did what he should and contacted state authorities who confirmed he was right, he could not accept the cash. So, he gave it back. Granted, CROWLEY should have known at the get-go that the legality of the raffle was questionable. The law, however, prohibits a lottery, and holding onto money while exploring what is and is not a lottery does not seem like such an egregious crime, if it were a crime at all. The impression here is Russell was too quick to jump on an opportunity to paint CROWLEY as someone who would break the law. The Fox and CROWLEY campaigns are going for the jugular. Recently, we criticized CROWLEY for making a spectacle of asking Fox to distance herself from a book her father wrote years ago about immigrating from Palestine to America. He said he was very concerned about Fox because she had a radical, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel book dedicated to her. That was offensive, it was a mistake, and we called CROWLEY out on it, noting it really had nothing to do with the issues in this election. Now, we're calling out Fox and Russell. If the state attorney believes a law was broken, he needed to pass that along to a prosecutor who was not personally invested in this race. In a Sun story written by Ann Easker, FDLE Communications Coordinator Jeremy Burns said the law enforcement agency has received Russell's request and is reviewing it. We can only hope the investigation moves along quickly and the issue is settled. CROWLEY, meanwhile, claims this is merely dirty politics and, as would be expected, accuses Russell of trying to give his colleague a political boost. This is a race that is grabbing the attention of voters in the 20th Judicial Circuit, which includes Charlotte County. We implore the candidates to stick to issues and talk about bringing justice for all to Southwest Florida.
Money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going
to designed to keep the crime rate down and attack violent crime. Number one, big wiretap operations coming out of Collier County to stem the opioids coming up 75. We did 20 wiretap arrests in the last 2 years. 20 people, all of them have been successfully prosecuted, either through trial or plea, and sent to prison, every single one of them, for a period of 20 years or longer. So that stopped a lot of the heroin coming up 75.
I know I'm going to...
Hey, Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just realized that the Charlotte County Republican AMIRA Fox running for state attorney, one of her people lied to me. See this lady right here? I went over to say hi to her, see if I could get her interview. I was at the Republican event today. COPWATCH shirt on, the camera rolling. I got my press patch on. She thought I was with the Charlotte County Sun, and I did not say I was with the Sun. So she's, you know, she's all set. She's like, great, you can meet her, you can talk to her. She's bringing me over, and then you're gonna see here in 1 second. You know, I meet her. And she's, you know, she shakes my hand. She goes, who are you? I say, Charlotte County COPWATCH. And then I said, can I interview you? And she said, no. Just that quick. So right there, she said it, boom. So here's what's funny about this is that one of her people came over at a different table and was giving me a flyer after this happened and said, come to her event. And I said, I thought I couldn't talk to her. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, I just went over. I tried to get her interview, and he goes, who? And she wouldn't talk to me. Well, he goes, who are you? I said, I'm with Charlotte County COPWATCH. He goes, give me that flyer. She's not ready to talk to any press yet. I said, oh, really? And they go, yeah, yeah. That's why she won't talk to you. But yeah, you can see right here, the blonde lady brought me up. We're ready to do an interview. Right here, you know, she's saying everything's good, and then she finds out on COPWATCH, I don't know. So one of her people fucking lied. He's a military, unconstitutional military police state bastard that doesn't want anybody questioning their police state. Right there. No, I don't want to talk to you. But if I was a Charlotte County son, oh, you bet. Bunch of suck-ass motherfuckers over there at the paper, man. 20 people. Do you know what happens if you're marked as a sovereign?
Are they getting any closer?
No, I don't even know what the terminology is.
Okay.
This is an event next Thursday for Revere out at Inglewood Beach. Former Gualtieri.
She won't. I just tried to talk to her. She wouldn't even talk to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not open to the press.
Okay.
And that's only because
It costs a lot of eggs.
the deal is she'll be doing press conferences and
Okay.
press releases later on in the campaign.
Okay.
The subject of it.
All right.
So that's just a policy thing. We should do the same thing to the sun.
It's not because I'm COPWATCH?
No.
Okay.
What?
No, it's
What are you doing with $10?
Okay.
It's all the same thing.
Okay, if I take this off, can I talk to her?
I thought that was too
We got you on the stove.
All right.
No, but there'll be an opportunity.
All right. So just to mention quick, okay, Northport gave us a list. Charlotte County Sheriff said there is. Who is the actual Meyer Fox?
Right there.
Okay, right there. Can I meet her?
You're with Charlotte Seth.
I'm actually with another one that will be dealing with her anyways if she gets elected.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Mira.
Good to meet you. I am Andrew with Charlotte County COPWATCH.
Hey, Andrew.
All right. I thought I would meet you. Just is it all right if I ask a couple questions?
No, I don't think so.
No. All right.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence Division investigating private citizens. This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before, we're
Sheriff's
just
getting a little too pushy.
is
You
the
work
hard
for
part.
us, Sheriff.
And
Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.